Hi everybody, this is Joseph Sharon and I'm back again with another movie review. I just recently saw Spider-Man No Way Home. And out of all the Spider-Man films I've seen, this has got to be hands down my favorite, just because there's so many different elements that are being combined together, and it throws in the mix one of my absolute favorite Marvel characters of all time. I'm not going to discuss too much about the film because it takes place after the last Avengers film, so you have to watch the former Avengers movie for it to fit into the serial events that have happened prior. That's why it's episodic. That's why DCU and Marvel are both episodic, and why they do this so well. I absolutely love this movie, and it's very emotional, and we get to see just how flawed Peter really is, even though he's an absolute genius. But he's still very impractical at how he does certain things, because he's still impulsive. So he deals with the consequences of that. And as somebody who's impulsive herself, yeah, I totally get it. But now that I'm more mature, I think things through before I do them, before just going, headlong into complete and total chaos. But I have to say that this one is probably the most tragic and most emotional of all Spider-Man films. And if those of you who are MCU fans who have seen it, they probably also agree with me on that point. Of course, the the sequence of events leads directly into Multiverse of Madness, which I've seen, which I absolutely just totally adore, even though it's very dark. And we get a little extra, but of course, MCU films, and I think they're doing it with DCU now with the two clips at the end, like they have been for a while. I still have to see Eternals, and I still have to see Wakanda Forever, because I'm a little bit behind. I've seen Quantumania. I saw Quantumania twice, so I'm actually ahead and a little behind, which I know makes absolutely no sense, and I totally contradicted myself. Let's see, I have to grade it right. As far as the Marvel movies are concerned, this one gets a nearly perfect rating, of course, but I don't think there would have been a plot per se if Peter had listened to reason. There would have been zero plot. I mean, I guess there still would have been with, the overall kind of him trying to figure out what he was going to do with himself now that his identity was exposed. I don't know how far they could go with that, because there really wasn't a lot they could do with that development in his story. Other than that, it's easily a 2 thumbs up kind of film. Other than the obvious flaw that the movie wouldn't have happened had Peter been rational. So it doesn't get a perfect grade, but I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5 because it's nearly perfect. And of course, like I said, the end credit scenes are absolutely terrific, and I love seeing. There's another character that I've actually enjoyed, kind of like an anti-hero who's become a hero, and he's a lovable character even though he's weird. I like the more unusual characters that aren't really focused on as much in the films, because I think it lends more to a subset of heroes that are just as important as everybody else in the whole MCU, in my opinion. He's not my favorite, but I do enjoy his character. I'm not going to say who that is because, of course, that's going to be a huge plot point, and I don't want to ruin it for people who haven't seen it. So, other than that, I want to talk about what I was doing yesterday. Yesterday, I went to Muncie. It was a 2-hour drive. It was after John and I had released our 6th raccoon. It was a female raccoon. And she had gotten loose before. She had been able to tip the live trap over and spring it herself. So, clever little scamp that she was, she escaped easily. But she came back. I thought, oh, you've got to be kidding me. You're an idiot if you're going to try this again. And sure enough, she did. But John had covered the metal plate on the bottom so she wouldn't know that she was actually triggering it. And by Jove, it worked. So we caught her. And we were afraid that we were going to be late for shooting for a film that a friend of mine has been doing, and it's taken him 3 years to actually get to the point where he could get all the equipment and technology to film it. And it is an independent film. It is, I guess, lower budget, you would say. But despite that, I mean, he's got an awful lot of really outstanding people that are working with him. And I got to be an extra. So I stayed for the whole day of filming, which in any movie that's made in the industry, whether it's through Hollywood or independently, one day of shooting is going to be 12 hours, you know. That's common. It's very it's very expected to stay on set 12 at least half of your day. Yeah, half of your day is going to be wasted. Actually, not wasted, but half of your day is going to be gone when you're on set. And the movie is called That Which Remains, and I have supported it since its inception. When I first heard about it, I didn't know Bart. I didn't know anybody who was working on the movie at all. So I had no idea what the movie was going to be about. I had no idea what the story was going to be about, where it was set, any of that. So I came in with an open mind, and I came with, of course, my surrogate brother, and we met the producer, or the filmmaker, who's Bart himself. And Bart is a really super sweet, down-to-earth, just salt-of-the-earth guy. And he was very upfront about his faith and that the movie would be faith-based. And, of course, he threw the caveat, what do you feel when you hear of film being Christian? And, you know, I love film. I'm not the type to go see Christian movies. I'm sorry. I know this probably makes me look bad. But I've seen a lot of the classics, which in my book are still good, because that's when they were doing them correctly. But I think my ultimate favorite of all time, other than maybe The Robe or The Greatest Story Ever Told or Ten Commandments, those are among the top. Of course, Ben-Hur, I don't think Ben-Hur was a biblical film, but still, I mean, historically, it's really good. Spartacus is another one of those. But in this day and age, Christian movies they're not taken seriously because they don't have the funding, they don't have the backing, they don't have the star power that a lot of other films have. And of course, they don't have all the foul language and the cursing and blah, blah, blah. But there are really good faith-based films that do this without any of that and still do well, independently speaking. So it can be done. And it can just give the industry the middle finger. And I think that's what this one has done as well, but it's totally different than what the industry is accustomed to, because it is a story that takes place in an apocalyptic world, sci-fi, dark, and retro-futuristic, or if you want to put another spin on that, it is steampunk diesel punk, which is a genre that I absolutely adore. And I know it's very niche, but I think that being so different and unique and actually done right, because I've seen the behind the scenes, I was part of behind the scenes. So everything that has been done to put this together has been just phenomenal. So I'm just an extra. I don't really, I mean, I was murmuring. I didn't really have any lines or anything because I was in like a couple scenes near the end of the film. They're halfway through. It's taken them 3 years to get to this point. So I had fun. I mean, it was, as far as the experience was concerned, it's the most laid back kind of situation I've ever been in. And it was weird because I thought, I'm not even nervous. This is weird. Because, I mean, when I'm on stage, I freeze. I hate it. I mean, I love theater, but I mean, I've been in theater a couple times, but I adore theater. And when I'm seeing a musical, I'm like, I'm part of the musical because I know every line, and I think, I can be up there with you people, but I'm scared, and, you know, I can't do this, and why do I have to be this way? But if I could just get beyond the whole, oh my God, people thing, because, I mean, in real life, being among people is no big deal. Being on stage is totally different. If I'm in front of people just singing, maybe it'll be a little bit, you know, not so bad, because I don't mind singing in front of people. It's totally, you know, normal for me. But I know it's kind of contradictory. But this was totally different. I was like most just chill experience. I'm serious. I mean, I was surprised in myself. I'm not nervous. My hands aren't sweating. I'm not. I knew what to do, and they just gave me small cues to follow. It was so easy. But it took us the whole day. I mean, it was a long day, but I met some really interesting people. We shared a lot of stories, made a lot of good connections, and each of these people had their own creative passion. And being around people like that as a creative person myself was just so reassuring and just absolutely magnificent. But Bart's only halfway through the film right now, and I'm estimating it'll probably take him at least another year to finish. But one of the crew, Guy, he's the one behind the camera, helping to film, and he said, "Are you an actress?" I thought, and I was floored. I thought, "You think I'm an actress? Oh my gosh!" So I wasn't expecting that, because that's something I've always wanted to do and something I've always wanted to be. So it's just such a delight to hear those words coming out of somebody else's mouth. And I remember my dad calling me Sarah Bernhardt when I was young, and I was just delighted and just tickled pink with being called an actress for the first time in my life. And I got outside my comfort zone, which actually wasn't that bad or terrifying. It was just like I just eased into that. And I was surprised in myself, because I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be, you know, so petrified. I'm not going to be able to talk to them. But people there were so kind and just so welcoming. And it's like, oh, it was kind of like going to dinner with friends. So great experience. I may be offered, who knows, in the future. So it's just, I opened a door and I took it in faith. But the whole film is faith focused. And it's based on the parable of the mustard seed, which I thought, this has got to be a sign, because that particular parable is my ultimate favorite. And then Bart spoke of the Valley of the Shadows that Andrew, the main character, traverses. And I thought, oh my gosh, I have my own that I've traversed in the past, and I think everybody has, even though they don't like talking about it. It's more of a taboo thing. So I think to have that essential basis and something we can all relate to, and we can all connect to that. I mean, all of us, no matter where we come from, no matter where we've been or where we're going, we're going to have a valley of shadows. I mean, that's just part of life. It's just inevitable. I know that sounds very negative and maybe a little bit nihilistic, but there's truth. There's a lot of truth to that. But that's where I was yesterday. I was in Muncie. I was in this old church that had been changed into a venue for weddings. So yeah, they do tours there now. They do tours, and of course Bart renting it out probably cost a pretty penny to do, but I'm really looking forward to what's to come in the future. I don't really know that much, but excuse me. My surrogate brother John, he put together an album on Smug Mug called That Which Remains. It was behind the scenes stuff. So if people are interested in looking at it and seeing what goes on and filming, then it's there. Of course, if they want to buy, they have to pay a small nominal fee. That's reasonable. But that's pretty much all I have to say. It was just so exciting and a lot of fun and enervating. It was totally enervating, which I wasn't expecting, because I didn't have lines. I was talking to other people that were in a particular scene. It was just near the end of the movie. So yeah, I checked this off my bucket list, and it feels absolutely incredible to do. I just thought, yeah, this is in me. I can do it, and it's for a good cause, and it's something that I hope reaches other people. So yeah, it was a busy day yesterday, but well worth it. Definitely worth it. And I will keep you up to date on the process of the film itself. So till next time, live on prosper.